breaking legendary coach's shocking first reaction to young Coco Gauff's training skills. The sun had barely risen over the clay courts of Boca Raton when the tennis academy gates slid open with a soft metallic hum. Morning fog hovered low, rolling like silent waves across the reddish surface. Most players were still asleep or dragging themselves toward warm-ups, but one teenager was already there, racket in hand, sneakers tied tight, energy buzzing like an engine. Her name, Coco Gauff. Her age, 14. Her mission, to prove she belonged. But on this particular morning, she had no idea someone extraordinary was about to step onto the court, someone whose presence would alter the trajectory of her young tennis life. A legend returns. Inside the academy office, whispers were already circulating. He's really coming today? Are you sure? Why would he be interested in a 14-year-old? No one had a concrete answer, but everyone recognized the name, Coach Nikolai Orlov, a legendary, old-school tactician who had trained multiple world number ones, molded Grand Slam champions, and was known for his brutal honesty. Some said he could look at a player's serve once and predict their entire career. Others whispered he rarely smiled, rarely praised, and never wasted time. He had retired years ago, vanished from the public eye, and was believed to have sworn off coaching permanently. Yet here he was, flying across the world to watch a young girl play. When the academy director whispered to Coco's team, he wants to observe her morning session, jaws dropped. Even her father, Corey, blinked in disbelief. Of all players, he chose her? The first glimpse. Coco was already in her rhythm when Orlov arrived. She didn't notice when he stepped courtside, hands behind his back, posture upright and formidable, as if carved from stone. His sharp gray eyes missed nothing. Her coaches fell silent. Her father stepped back. Even the bald kid froze. But Coco continued hitting forehands, heavy, fast, laser-focused shots that cracked across the court like thunder. Orlov lifted an eyebrow. Power, he muttered. Coco switched to backhands, compact, smooth, and shockingly precise for her age. He nodded slowly. Technique with discipline. Then she practiced movement drills, sprinting side to side with astonishing speed, sliding, recovering, launching into explosive footwork patterns. Orlov's eyes widened, not with admiration, but with intrigue. This girl, he whispered, moves with purpose, not fear. The test begins. Coco's father finally cleared his throat. Coach Orlov, welcome. The legend didn't respond. Instead, he stepped onto the court, surprising everyone. Coco stopped mid-swing. Wait, you're... Yes, he said. Let me see what you truly are. He walked straight to the service line and pointed at the baseline. Serve. Coco blinked. Right now? Should I wait until you grow older? He snapped. Serve. She swallowed hard, stepped back, bounced the ball twice, and unleashed a powerful serve that kicked into the corner. Orlov didn't praise. He didn't flinch. He simply said, again. She served again. Again. And again. After the 15th serve, Coco's arm was burning. She exhaled sharply. Anything specific you wanted to change? No, he replied. I wanted to see if you'd ask. You noticed details quickly, yes? Coco nodded. That, Orlov said, is rare. The shocking moment. Next, Orlov moved to the opposite baseline. Hit your hardest forehand at me. Coco hesitated. At you? I am not made of glass, he said. Hit. She hit. The ball flew off her strings like a bolt. Heavy topspin, blistering pace. Orlov didn't move. The ball bounced inches from his foot and hit the back fence. The spectators gasped. Coco looked horrified. I'm sorry. Again, he commanded. She hit harder. This time the ball screamed across the clay like a missile. Orlov finally reacted. He lifted his racket, lightning fast, catching the ball with the faintest flick, redirecting it perfectly toward her backhand corner. Coco stumbled, shocked by the speed and precision. Move! He barked. Instinct took over. She sprinted, returned the ball deep. Orlov returned it with a slicing angle so sharp it seemed impossible. Coco chased, slid, recovered, They continued exchanging, rapid, intense, breathtaking. It wasn't a rally. It was an exam. And Coco refused to fail. She grunted, pushed herself to her limit, sweat flying as she met every impossible shot. Her legs burned, arms shook, lungs screamed for air. Finally, after 47 shots, Orloff hit a disguised drop shot, so delicate it kissed the net and died. Coco Gauff actually dove for it. Her racket scraped the clay. The ball floated upward, just barely over the net. The academy erupted in disbelief. Orloff froze. For the first time in years, he smiled. "A fighter," he said softly. "A real one." The verdict. Coco knelt on the clay, panting, trying to catch her breath. Orloff walked to her, offering a hand. She took it, stunned. "My first reaction?" he said loudly, turning to crowd. Everyone leaned forward. "This girl," he paused, "is not talented." Gasps. Coco's jaw dropped. Her father's fists clenched. But Orloff raised his voice again. "Talent is what the world calls luck." He pointed a finger at Coco. "This girl is built, asterisk through work, through hunger, through fire." He turned to the academy director. "I have coached champions. Many. But none," he said, looking back at Coco, "have looked at me with eyes that say, 'Test me again.'" Coco felt her throat swell. Was this real? Orloff continued. "My shock is not her power, not her speed, not her technique. All of that is excellent." He stepped beside her. "The shock is her mind." He tapped his temple. "That instinct, that refusal to yield, that willingness to chase the impossible ball, that cannot be taught." Then he looked directly at Coco. "And that is why you'll go farther than anyone expects." The private conversation. After the crowd dispersed, Orloff approached Coco, now sitting on the bench with her water bottle. "You are still young," he said. "Many years ahead, many battles." He placed his hand on Coco's shoulder. "This one." Her jaw fell open. Her father stepped forward. "Coach, are you serious? Do I look like a comedian?" He snapped. Coco felt the world spin. "Why me?" "Because," he said, "in you, I see the beginning of a storm the world is not prepared for." He leaned closer. "And I want to be there when it forms." The legend's final words. As he prepared to leave, Orloff turned back one last time. "Remember this, young Coco. Power fades. Speed dwindles. Technique evolves." He touched his chest. "But fire, if protected, can burn forever." He pointed at her. "Yours is raging." Coco felt her heartbeat thunder in her chest. "Thank you, coach." "No," he said. "Do not thank me. Earn it." Then, like a ghost of the old tennis world, Orloff disappeared through the academy gates. The future begins. As Coco walked back onto the clay, still trembling from the encounter, her coach approached. "What now?" he asked. Coco looked at the baseline, gripping her racket with a new intensity. "Now," she said with a determined smile. "We train." Because for the first time, she wasn't just a prodigy. She wasn't just a rising star. She wasn't just a kid with dreams. She was the one player who had shocked a legend into believing again. And somewhere in the distance, the world of tennis stirred, ready or not, for the storm that was Coco Gauff. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.